It was a midnight game slide. I had to pull up, get right. A stick and move on the west side. Cause you know you give me the best high. Ay.
First off, the show, I'm absolutely in love with it. And I can relate almost too much to the point where I couldn't even focus to do this research because I am exactly what the show embodies, you know, in my mid-20s, trying to figure out my life. And I'm not in LA, but I feel like I could definitely relate. I want to start off with you, Brie, because you're not from LA, like a large part of the cast. Can you tell us about why you wanted to move to LA and your adjustments now that you're there and getting in this frame?
Yeah, so to be perfectly honest, I didn't really plan to move to LA. It was just a spur of the moment thing. I was trying to get out of the relationship that I was in. I already had some friends in LA. So it really just was like a leap of faith and just a chance that I took. There was no research. I only had I had signed a lease. I had 2 bags of clothes and that was it. I had nothing else.
And do you regret it?
Absolutely not. It was the best decision I could have ever made for myself and for my future.
As young women and growing in your 20s and trying to find your way in life, everyone's going through that, but LA, I don't know, it has a different dynamic. Amanda, since I know you're from Cali, can you tell us why you think Sweet Life is an interesting and unique perspective, being as though it's based in LA?
Yes. So I just feel like historically, right, when you see Los Angeles profile, there's two sides of the coin, right? There's like Hollywood glamour, 90210, Rodeo Drive, or there's like, you know, Black trauma, crime, gang violence, correct? Like I could go on, right? On just like historically how South LA or LA in general has been characterized. And I feel like with this particular show, it's really giving you like a sweet spot in the middle. Our cast members are actually from Los Angeles, born and raised, of course, with the exception of Brie, born and raised in LA, really grinding and working, chasing our dreams, not necessarily focused on trying to get on or trying to like, you know, make names for themselves, but really just being ourselves and like connecting with a group of friends. And I feel like that those type of stories haven't really been told in an unscripted way, especially in addition to the fact that we're all young, right? Like 20 somethings. A lot of reality shows are like kind of older, or they're super niche, right? Like HGTV or like cooking shows. Like this is really just a profile of our lives in our mid, 20s, doing what we can to make ourselves proud, to make our parents proud, to make our friends proud. And there's really just no shows like it. So I think that is really just characteristic of the Sweet Life and of our show.
Absolutely. I think one of the bigger things that you touched on, like one of the wider purposes, I would say, is legacy. And I know that Tylynn, your event, the Legacy Table, was so inspiring. Like, I wish I could have been there. It just looked like it was beautiful. Not to mention your event planning skills are top tier. Top tier. But I want to know from you, how would you describe building a legacy in your own words? And why do you think just participating in the show and doing what you're doing is contributing to that?
Yeah, I think building a legacy just comes from tapping in to your surroundings and seeing what is needed and necessary that you can provide that will last generations and generations. And I mentioned, I believe on the show that your legacy to me changes all the time. And so I don't think we need one long-lasting legacies. I think we need a bunch of legacies that solve problems, whether that's in 3 months it solves something, 2 years, lifetime. I just think you have to find something that's super important to you, that is unique to you, and potentially can only be solved by you, and encourage the people around you and your loved ones to be a part of the movement.
Nicely said and very accurate for sure. So I feel like not only watching it can I relate to you ladies on a level of ambition, striving, 20s, young, up color, but also with the dating and the drama and the relationships and stuff like that. So Brie, I know that you're one of the only single people in here. I have to know, what's the dating life like in LA? And is there any hope for you and Jordan to spin back around the block by chance?
Dating in LA has been super interesting, honestly. I'm not really the type to go on too many dates or just really give people a chance or just open myself up just because I've been like hurt in the past. Jordan and I are good friends. And yeah, I mean, it's been trial and error. I'm not really actually dating right now. I am, yeah, kind of focused on one person, but yeah, me and Jordan are good friends.
He is someone's man, but he is just not mine.
Listen, that's all that needs to be said, but that's good to hear, you know, and I think you guys' friend group probably benefits as a whole, just with everyone being amicable and social. So that's good for you. And Amanda, last we checked, I believe last time we checked, you were contemplating moving in with your bae or whether or not that was a good idea. This, you know, has nothing to do with me, but I would love to know what advice or guidance would you give to any other couples that might be facing similar dilemmas, and how did that work out for you?
Yeah, we did talk about that on the most recent episodes, and so we still, just full transparency, like we still haven't moved in together. I didn't move into like my home. I have 2 tenants, so like it's just rental property. But I would say for advice, just like make sure that you and your partner are like on the same page, because I feel like sometimes people have different motives as to like why they want to move in. It could just be like, you know, I want to be in your skin, or it could be like finances. Just make sure that like the reasons are the same. Both Rob and I know that we're going to move in together at some point, but I still live like with my parents right now. So I'm just like, I need to get me together, you know, like he's moved across the country. He has an apartment of his own. Like he has lived his best adult 20 somethings life. And I still live at home with my parents. So I'm just like, I need to get myself together.
That is a big fact. I think that's another reason why this show is so different from your stereotypical reality TV show. Like, still living at home is a thing. Quarter life crisis is a thing. Trying to figure out your life is a real life thing. Tylynn, to finish us off, can you try to tell us, or actually viewers, what advice would you give to other people who may or may not be like us, just trying to figure out their life? Mid-20s, they're ambitious, want success, but it's a whole lot of life happening. Can you help?
I think you gotta go through life to figure it out and not turn down opportunities just because it doesn't feel like the perfect fit. I think I got here because I tried a ton of things and met different kinds of people. And then one day it's like, oh, I want to do that. And so I think people have to stop blocking their blessings. They have to put themselves out there and try new things and allow opportunities that may seem like, at first, come to them and grow with it and go through it, you know? And so I think that's really the key ingredient to success, is just finding many successes on the way until you get to the top.
That is so helpful. And I know that not just me, I'm supposed to just be interviewing you guys, but I'm also getting tea because this is so helpful. Also, I think everybody else will also benefit from it as well. Thank you so much for chatting with me and for being on the show and being beautiful, Black, and blessed and living our best lives. We love to see it, honestly.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thank
you.
you.
First off, thank you for just being y'all. The show is all that, everything. And as another young person in my 20-somethings, trying to figure out my life, it's inspiring to see both of you guys be so successful. I'm gonna go ahead and kick it off with PJae. You're from LA. Both of you guys are from Cali area, if I'm not mistaken.
Right.
But how long have you been in this friend group? I want to know. And what has being a part of this friend group done for you that we can see in the Sweet Life as well?
Well, yeah, I'm from LA. I've been part of the friend group for a few years now. On TV, the other people you see on TV, I'm the newest guy for sure. And then just becoming part of this friend group, it's meant a lot for me. I gained new brothers. I like to say when people ask me about the friend group and stuff, it's like, to quote like Bino Rideau, it's like, all my homies on, I can't be out here mismatched. Like, so it's inspiration at its finest, honestly. And we all just generally have love for each other and want to see each other succeed.
No, that is a big fact. Just watching the show, I felt inspired. I'm like, I don't even have time to do research. I need to be doing more for myself, because Jordan, not to even mention how successful your brand has been, Wypland, and the collaborations and everything that you've done, it's phenomenal just to see. I would love to know what you would like viewers to take away from your role on the show.
For me, I really want to show people that I'm like more dimensional than just like my business. I feel like a lot of the time people associate my success with like my personality, but there's so many layers way deeper than that. And I wish like, you know, they'll see with season 2, but you know, I wish people were able to see kind of like those layers beneath us, you know what I'm saying? If we get to season 2. Yeah, no, just showing those multidimensional layers. I feel like there's so much to all of our friends. We all do so many things, but to be defined by only our success would be like shorten us a little bit, because it's like, you know, there's so much that goes on in our life, and there's so many things that we do and deal with on a day-to-day basis that people, you know, should see.
First of all, we all are hoping for a season 2. So Issa, please. But you also did hit a good point about multi-dimensions, because besides all of you just being young and thriving and successful, you guys have ups and downs. A lot of you get emotional in the show. We see you guys getting a little entangled, you know, with your loved ones, stuff like that. PJae, what can we expect from the season finale with all of these ups and downs, and why should fans or viewers tune in?
What to expect? Expect excitement. Expect some fireworks. Expect some highs and some lows. But expect real. Yeah, just stay tuned, and we have some amazing things coming.
Jordan, if you could give advice to any other young, in their 20s creatives, whether it be entrepreneurs or just music management, whatever role they want to take, but they're still trying to figure it out, what advice would you give them?
If you're just trying to figure it out, I think the best advice that I really have for anybody, regardless of their level, is to remain authentic to yourself. I feel like a lot of the times we can feel lost, but if you kind of take a step back and look at yourself and look at what you love and what is truly authentic to you and your story, that's when you'll really begin to see the success and like a lot of upward momentum for your career and like your business. I feel like when you look at the overall show, you know, I think the reason why people love it so much is because we are all so authentic to our culture, our friend group, and, you know, it's real feelings. And I feel like when people can, you know, people know when stuff is real and fake. So, you know, as much as you can, stay authentic, stay consistent. I mean, there's billions of people on this planet. At some point, somebody's going to hear it, and there's an audience for you, you know?
Low-key advice to me, but more or less to everybody and all the other viewers. So thank you so much for taking the time to chat with me. We greatly appreciate it.
Of course. Thank you for
Of course.
No problem.
Yeah, thank you for having us. Thanks, Miss Wright.
No problem.
It was a midnight game slide. I had to pull again, right? A sticky move